believe that that really goes to the skill and the diplomatic abilities of the leader of the party and those others who have influence on members who may have a difficulty of voting their conscience. Now, there are a number of ways of dealing with that, you know. One, given the numbers that the PLP has in the House of Assembly, it is not likely that you're going to find an overwhelming number of persons who will be opposed to, for example, an issue on gambling, even on religious grounds. I wouldn't think. If you listen to the people in the marketplace, if you listen to what is being said out there, there's generally the sense that we ought to have some sort of lottery or amend gambling in some way, shape, or form. But secondly, keep in mind that you don't always have to vote against a bill. You can abstain.
Oh,
you can abstain.
Come on.
Come
on, Mr.
No, there's nothing wrong with abstaining.
Wait, if abstain mean you have no balls to vote.
No, abstain means that you're not going to support it and you're not going to oppose it. That's all it means.
Yeah, but
that's all it means. Now, to the man on the street, it may mean that you have no testicular fortitude.
Right. I like how you say that.
no, you're very graphic. I mean, I like you have your own style. But it may mean that, and I don't think it does not mean cowardice. It does not show cowardice. It may show that it may require more courage to abstain, because in the face of so much opposition to the position that you take, sometimes the person who abstains is really the person who is showing the courage.
Now, abstain means you're in the chamber, but you do not vote, as opposed to someone who does not come to the chamber and is absent.
That's right, and that's another option. Another person may just absent himself from the chamber, right. And I think that's cowardice.
Yeah.
I think that is cowardice. You come and you be counted because the people sent you there to represent them, and you make your voice known, or you express the will of the people. Which hopefully is consistent and congruent with your will. And if you don't agree, there will be if a poll is taken, if a person calls for a polling of the members, it means that every single member will have to stand up and say, this is how I vote, up, down, or neutral. And then you will know who stands where. But if you don't come to the House, it's only left to speculation as to what your position would have been. And in most cases, it will be that if you're a PLP, it means that you don't accept it. Okay? And if you're an FNM and you don't come to the House, I'm not quite sure what it would mean, because they don't really have the majority. And so I'm not quite sure what they would say if they don't come.
Let's begin to look at some of these ministerial portfolios. And we begin with the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, because there are a lot of responsibilities in the Prime Minister's ministry.
Yes.
And it really ought to read, although it doesn't read that, it really ought to read the Minister of Finance, or the Ministry of Finance, Investments, and because there is a Minister of State for investments. So,
well, I think the Minister of State there really is to be.
That's Kayla's role.
That's correct. No. Minister of State for Finance is not
for finance.
Halkilis.
Investments, I'm talking.
Yes,
about.
Investments is.
So you see what I'm saying. There are several ministers. Okay, there is a Minister of State for Finance.
Yes.
That's Michael Halkilis.
That's right.
There is a Minister of State for Investments. And that's Kayla's role.
That's right.
All within the office of the Prime Minister.
That's right, yes.
So all of that come under the Prime Minister.
That's correct, yeah. The Prime Minister, and in every instance where you have a Minister of State, there is a substantive minister. Let me clarify this now. There's no such thing in the Bahamas as junior ministers. People like to refer to ministers of state as junior ministers. That is a convention that is practiced and observed in the United Kingdom. And in other places, I think in Canada perhaps even. But in the Bahamas, a minister is a minister. Whether you're a minister of state or you're prime minister, you are a minister of the government. You have full rights and responsibilities as a minister. So let's clarify that first. Secondly, you're absolutely right. There are certain allocations that may be made to careless role in his capacity as Minister of State for Investment.
Well, let's say
And
what they are.
Yeah, they are listed. They're listed there. For example, promotion, facilitation, and administrative and processing of investments. People coming to this country or Bahamians wishing to engage in investments that require cabinet approval, he would have carriage of that area.